Mhm. Welcome to the demonstration session of Excel. We will learn about what Excel is, what our institute is, and what kind of courses we offer. Okay, just a moment. Sharing my screen. All right. So our institute name is Excelytics, as you all know. So we provide a number of IT and also skill courses which is required for the development of a professional in their career journey. And with this thought, we started on with our Excel training, where we are giving the basic to advanced Excel skills to a professional. Apart from this, we also are in the VBA macros session. We also deal with Power BI, SQL, Python, Snowflake, and there are some more trainings like Word, MS Access, MS Word. All these trainings we provide so that a fresher, a professional, or an experienced person who doesn't have an idea in this particular domain will understand and try to implement these skills in their offices, or like in their companies. So this is how our institute runs. We have a website where you can go and see there is a lot of information on how many courses we have, what are the batches. We do have certifications. There is corporate trainings which we also give, just not having an institute, but we also go outside to multiple corporate firms, like for example Dr. Reddy's and many other colleges and schools, not schools but colleges, yeah, engineering colleges and MBA colleges, where we go give trainings on Excel, Power BI, because nowadays data analytics has been a very big word which is being used. So we also give trainings across institutes as well. So you can visit this website, excelytics.in, and you will be able to see all the information over here. So moving on to Excel. First, we need to understand what is Excel and why do we use it, where do we use it, okay? What, why, and where, okay? Can you can take out, I mean, you can tell if you want to unmute, you can unmute and tell what is Excel. Like, can anyone tell?
So Excel basically makes things presentable and more understandable, and it is a user-friendly tool where we can get the works done quickly rather than doing the manual calculations, etc.
Correct. And I think we have an offline professional. He also said that we perform calculations on Excel. Yes. So Excel is an application which basically has rows and columns, cells, and multiple spreadsheets where we can input the data, make calculations, store the data, make calculations, and finally analyze some output. So what you see on my screen is it a blank Excel screen where you have multiple rows and columns. Okay, these are multiple rows and these are your columns, where you can, which has rows and columns and which has multiple spreadsheets where you can store data, analyze it, and get an output out of it. Storing the data is first part in the Excel, and then we perform multiple calculations in Excel, and then finally we analyze the data, and then we get an information out of it that what needs to be done. It is a platform which helps in giving us a final result, giving us a decision making factor, which helps us understand what our data says. And data is one of the most important things in Excel. Not only in Excel, but data now has become a very important thing across the world. With the help of data, we are able to get the AI thing done. With the help of AI, we are getting our things done in very quicker manner. So data is an important thing which is used in Excel for analysis. So that is where the data analysis comes into picture. So as you all know, Excel is an application which has rows and columns where you can input data, calculate them, and then finally analyze them. Now, why is this used? Why is Excel used? Okay, okay. So you have mentioned that it is used as a supporting evidence. We provide inputs, we get outputs from this. This is help in driving us results. Yes, as pretty much good, but there are so many things which we can tell on why on the usages. So Excel is used basically to store data. You can store records as many as old you can. Okay. It's user friendly as Veena has mentioned. Storing data, you can store any kind of data here. Storing data can be, storing your grocery data, like monthly grocery information, monthly grocery, your accounts, your EMIs, anything you can store, monthly grocery accounts, EMI, your expenses sheet. You can come back to this sheet and see how much you have spent in the last month, current month. Basically, you record all your information. Bank statements, school, in schools for attendance, marks. Okay. So why is Excel used? Excel is used because as you have mentioned that this is a user friendly tool where we can store a lot of information. You can store basically any information. You can store information in terms of text format. You can store the numbers information, whatever information is there, you can use it. The plus point is that you can use it online and offline also. You can share the Excel sheet with someone. Both of you can update simultaneously in the same sheet. Okay. And why it is used? Obviously to store all different types of information. The information can be any information. Whatever it is an Excel information. Now you guys are attending this class. You guys are like 5 people, 5 attendees. This is also information. So we will record this information also in our Excel sheets that, on so and so day on 8th November, 5 people attended and the names of the 5 people are these, the phone numbers are this. This is all recording. So that as you told that this also acts as a supporting evidence. So this will be an evidence, in the future if something happens or whatever, we can go back to the date and we can see that, this person has attended on this day. Similarly similarly it is not only used in institutions but also used in schools and colleges for, tracking attendance, maintaining marks. It is used in manufacturing units to store their stock data, how much they have manufactured, how much they have sold, how much is the profit. It's also used in offices, corporate offices, to maintain the records of anything, basically the employee information, the salary information, the bills receivable, bills payable information. All these things, everything is coming with Excel. And all of this is being driven by something called data. Only if you have data, you store it in Excel. And then with this data, you analyze the data and you get an output. And that particular whole process is called data analysis. So this is why we use Excel. Okay, I know you guys pretty much know about it because you guys are corporate professionals, but this is just the basics for those people who are new to this course will understand it more, that why we are used. Now we discussed what is Excel, we discussed why we are using Excel. Now we want to know where we are using Excel. So I know we must be having a long list. You can give me the examples. Where do we use Excel? No, no, where in the sense, which places do we use Excel? Yeah, Excel. Yeah, like schools,
Yeah, you already
colleges,
mentioned, Hemant, like corporate and manufacturing
corporates,
units,
manufacturing units,
in any administration, or in government sector also, in be it
government
in any
sector,
departments to track everything.
banks, hospitals,
Yeah.
many like mutual funds.
Mhm.
There is no sector where Excel is not used basically. Because there is no sector which doesn't have data. All the sectors has data. So you use in multiple organizations like schools, colleges, manufacturing units. Lawyers also use Excel to record their cases when they have to go and present themselves in the court. All this thing. So Excel is basically used at every part of our life. We might not know it, but there is everywhere we use Excel. Okay. And apart from this thing, you also do it for your personal things also. Like I personally use my Excel to see my expenses, how much expenses I did in the month, do my grocery listings, party planning. If you're planning a party, you note down all the details, right? Who is getting what? All these things can be noted down in Excel, and the same Excel sheet can be shared with people. As I told you that you can use it online also, so multiple people can attempt to update that Excel sheet. Okay, so it's not only the organization, but we as a uh, saving our personal information, we also use Excel sheet for all these things. So from end to end, day in and day out, as you have mentioned, that we use Excel, and Excel is being used everywhere. Okay. Now we have understood what, where, why. Now let's try to see, after knowing Excel, what kind of jobs do we land in? Maybe we can write reporting analyst, data analyst, project management, correct? MIS executive, admins, record keeping, HR, human resources teams, sourcing. Okay. A lot of places, in all these places, we use Excel. And these are the things which exist in all the companies. Be it any company, you will have these roles definitely there. Okay. And there are a lot of roles. Again, I could only remember these. So basically, with the help of the Excel, only if you know Excel, you will easily end up landing job in any of these particular job roles. Okay. So whatever your background is, be it you're a BCom, MBA, BTech, or whatever, this doesn't have any relation to your financial knowledge. Financial knowledge in the sense, although you're not a accounting person, it doesn't mean that you cannot do a job. For these kind of jobs, the basic requirement is Excel, and it is easily available in the market. And along with this, a little more skill upgrade, like if you have a brilliant communication skills, brilliant presentation skills, and you have this knowledge, you will easily end up landing a job. So, so this can be used as your survival skill, and this is definitely important. Okay, suppose I'll tell you an example how this Excel is a basic skill. Why this Excel is a basic skill? So the place where I work, I'm an application developer. So the place where I work are all, and basically giving you a background, I'm a BCom MBA. I don't know anything about technology. Okay. Still an application developer. That is because I learned few things. Okay, so I'll tell you a background on this. So as I told you, I was a finance guy, and my, majority of experience was into financial planning and analysis, and I used to do a lot of reporting. So that is where I got the Excel knowledge from. Okay, now I'm an application developer because I learned a few, IT courses. I took IT courses, I learned them, and then I moved into the application developer role. In this role, although a lot of people are working with me who are good IT developers, like they are from basically, there are people from NIT, there are people from IIT who are there, okay, and topmost, BTech institutes, okay, but they know all the only the IT piece of it, okay, and I have that at, I might not know the kind of IT level knowledge they have, but I know at least 60 to 70% of what they know. Okay. So this Excel skill is something which they are lacking on. And whenever they see an Excel sheet, they get, frightened on, oh shit, this is an Excel sheet. I cannot go into although there is nothing in that Excel sheet. It's a basic information sheet. Okay, but they get frightened to it. I mean that they shouldn't be frightened about it, but they get frightened to it because they never use that in life. The same way was me when I used to see the codes, whatever coding they write. No, the moment I see an SQL code or a Python code, I used to be like, oh, this is not my cup of tea. But that is something which we have to, move away from. And you should not get afraid of it, but you should probably go for it and understand it what it is. Basically, there is no skill in life which is hard or difficult. It's just that we interpret ourselves in our brain that this is not something which you can do. There is everything which you can do in life. Okay. So coming to that,
Sorry to interrupt you, Hemant. Even I have the same kind of a feeling when it comes to the coding and all, that I feel that it's not my cup of tea, or it's like uh, I cannot cope up with the technical applications, etc., etc. That's what even I feel.
yeah, this is pretty much feeling of everyone, and that is where we have to overcome ourselves for. Okay. So now that those guys, so I'm here to give you example of how Excel was helping me. Okay, so
Mhm.
now what happened is, now they don't know Excel, but you know what, Excel is needed at every level. You know what, the top CEOs, CFOs, like even your Donald Trump, they see the data in Excel only. They see the data, whatever you make in Excel, they copy that and they paste in PowerPoint. And at the end of the day, in the high level presentations, the PowerPoint will only be opened and they will say that these numbers are something which we have to look for. That numbers are coming from the source, which is an Excel only. So in my background, what happened is, since I only knew Excel and they didn't know that because they were pretty much on the coding stuff and backend developers, that gave me an opportunity to be little upper to them. So I was a guy who was involved in both technical as well as the functional. Functional in the sense this functional works. And this helped me grow in my career well because at least I had 50-50 knowledge of both of the things. And they had only 100% knowledge of only one thing. Okay. So they say no, that too much of knowledge on one thing is also dangerous. So yeah, so that you should also you should, yes, you're right, you should also understand how we can do this also. So only doing work is not important, designing and showing it to someone is also very much important, pretty much that is also important. So even, even if you don't know the perfect Excel of the Excel, but knowing the basic knowledge is very important, and that is what we will try to learn in this as a part of this course. So as I told you that even if you don't know anything and only if you know Excel, that Excel will help you in your jobs. But if you're something like I gave you an example of that, you don't really work on Excel, you just work on the technical part, and someday Excel will be used for you. That Excel will help you in your career progression like this. Okay. So that is where we discussed on what is Excel, why is Excel, where do we use Excel, and how it impacts our jobs and how it helps us in our jobs. Okay. Now, let me move on to our course curriculum. Okay. So will you all know this institute name. Obviously, you guys are in the WhatsApp group. Even if you don't know, I'll tell you how to come to this page, and then we can download our curriculum from here. And I'll explain you what the curriculum is. I'll explain you what all things we provide here as a part of this training, and then we will proceed it further. Okay. So all you have to do is just look for Excelytics like this, search, and then you get our institute. I mean, since I've been using, I'll get it as a top result. But if you don't get a top result, just look for excelytics.in. Click on this, and this is the page which appears to you. Okay. And likewise, like you have seen most websites, those are not updated. We are updated with our website here. Okay. So you will have all your information here. And then you go to the courses, and we will go to Excel, and we have this introducing MS Excel, introducing MS Excel with VBA macros. Okay. So go to introducing MS Excel. This is something which we are learning as a part of the Excel. So you can see the course details here. I'll just download this. Okay. So this is the curriculum which we are going to teach as a part of Excel. So we start with understanding Excel, like what is Excel, its complete history, like how it originated here. And then we discuss the basic terminology of Excel, what is row, what is column, what are sheets, etc. Then we'll see the object model of Excel, like we will show you each and everything on the top, how it looks, how is the user interface of Excel, what all quick access things we have. And then we work on different, we will see on how the Excel works in different versions of Excel, like how we have WhatsApp upgraded. We used to have a line status, now we have a video status. Similarly, Excel has also kept on adding its functions and updated itself. And then we discuss about different file formats, how many file formats are there in Excel, and the user interface of Excel. That's pretty much the same thing what I told about. And then we will move on to basic Excel. We start with our home tab. We will discuss each of the functions in home tab, like, and going forward we talk about all our other tabs. Okay. So in home tab you have clipboard group, cut copy, font group, alignment group, alignment of your text, different data types in Excel, conditional formatting. Like conditional formatting is basically you format any colors, put any colors based on the conditions you have. Then we have something called format as table, how it is different from range. What do we have extra features of format as table? We will discuss about the cell styles, how to insert, delete rows and columns. We talk about the shortcuts, whatever we use in Excel, fill options, how we fill the data with the help of shortcuts, control D, control R, etc. Find and select, how to find, replace. Find, replace, I think everyone pretty much knows about it, but there are something again like go to functions here. And then we will move on to advanced Excel. Advanced Excel is where, so until now, I think you must be having some or the other knowledge of the basic Excel part. Okay. But there are some things which you might not know that exists in Excel, but only when you understand in the class, you will understand that, oh, this is also something which we can do. I never knew about it types. Okay. So that's the basic part. Advanced Excel. So advanced, when comes to advanced Excel, and when you tell anyone that I am trained on advanced Excel, that means formulas in Excel basically. Now formulas are something which is a crucial part in Excel, because formulas help you calculate your data, and that will only give you the last result. Okay. So we start with the formulas. What is a formula? How to start writing a formula, and within the formula, the whole formula is basically called syntax also. In that formula, what are arguments, what are mandatory arguments, optional arguments, what are the reference styles, relative, absolute, mixed. Okay. And then we have different formulas here. Let me go to my Excel sheet. You have the formulas tab here. You can see we have different formulas here, like financial, logical, text, date and time, lookup and reference, mathematics, and trigonometry. So that is where we have categorize the same formulas: date and text, date and time, logical functions, mathematical functions, statistical information lookup. Okay. And it's not only telling you the formulas. Okay. Apart from this formulas, I personally prepare some test sheets, not test sheets, like practice sheets. Okay. I'm not gonna, tick mark and give you correct answer, wrong answer types. Like I send you practice sheets. Like I'll give you example of how the practice sheets also looks like. Okay, you see, Hemant, I mean, I just put it for saving purpose. If test, if you have if conditions which you write in the formulas, okay, you do we look up, like, I'll show you how the practice sheets look like also. Like I give you some test where like practice sheets which you have to use it, okay, like this. And then there is VLOOKUP sheets which I send like this. Okay, a lot of practice sheets I created so that the student should get idea on how they can use it and do it. I give it in many different ways. Like these are some extra sheets which, okay, this is not the sheet, sorry. Mm, I did send one yesterday, yeah. So these are some extra sheets for index and match functions. So basically what I mean to say is that these extra sheets, the practice sheets will help you practice what I teach in the class. Okay. And if you get any doubts in that, we can refer back in the class again and understand it more, whatever it is. So these are the extra sheets like this. I keep on sending some sheets. Okay. So that, you guys get a good hands on this. Apart from this, we also have some assessment sheets in our curriculum, which I'll talk about going forward. So these are the different formulas which we use, and these are the formulas which helps us in, you know, being a part of the advanced Excel and understanding more on what all we can do in Excel. Now, apart from these, in this formula, there are some important, like very, very important formulas which actually need a lot of attention. So of them are basically the logical functions where we have ifs, nested if error. We have the statistical formulas, which are very important, wherein you do average if, minimum, maximum. Okay. We have lookup and reference. This is like extra, extra, extra important, which you should definitely know as a part of advanced Excel. This is basically your VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index, match, indirect. So these 5 to 6, what I just told you, the VLOOKUP and reference formulas, these are very important for you to know when I'm telling that advanced Excel piece. Okay. So with the help of these formulas, what we do is we calculate our data in multiple ways. Okay. Now we come to the reporting and designing. So as I told you, first Excel, what we do, we store the data, right? First you get the data from somewhere. And with the help of that data, what you do perform calculations. And after performing calculation, you end up doing reporting. Reporting in the sense you create dashboard, etc. things. Okay. Now we have report designing techniques like how you insert pictures, shapes, icons, sparklines. Sparklines are like a mini chart, basically, not erasers. Inserting hyperlink text boxes, objects, symbols, equations, all these things we will discuss. And then calculation options like what are manual calculations, what are automatic calculations. Okay. Then report printing techniques like how to do a page setup, what are the different themes which we use, how we data to you in the home, you store the data, you get the data from somewhere and you store. In the formulas, you calculate the data. Then we have statistical formulas, which are very important. In the data tab, you do a lot of things like forecast, sorting the data. All the real whatever you do with the data is something which is there in this tab. Okay. So here in this tab, we will learn about what is named range. Okay. What is sort and filter, how to connect the data from multiple applications like external applications, external sources, splitting the data into columns, removing duplicates, consolidating the data. And there is something called data validation where we want to create list. Like if you have you must have filled many job applications, right? In that they will ask you, right, what is your highest qualification, and then you have a list of details. That drop down is something which we will do with the help of a data validation, where you want to get a drop down on the data. And I told you about the forecast, what if analysis, goal seek, and data table, grouping and ungrouping of the data. This is all about your data. What is you what you do in the data tab. Okay. And then we have that data protection techniques, basically checking the spellings, okay, protecting your sheet, protecting workbook, writing comments, deleting comments. Okay. All these things are there as a part of your data protection techniques. Then the final thing is data validate, data analysis and visualization. Now, there are two most important things in Excel. Okay. One is your formulas. The other thing is your data analysis and visualization. In data analysis, pivot tables are something which are very important in Excel, because pivot table is something which will convert your thousands and lakhs of lines of data into a small table. The small table which is customizable with the help of drag and drop facility. That is called pivot table. With the help of pivot table, you can find out the granularity of data. Okay, that is what the pivot table is. So we will understand what is pivot table, how we insert a pivot table, how we create it, what all we can do, what all the settings we have in pivot table, what all we can do in the pivot table. And after doing this pivot table, we connect those pivot table with the help of charts. And the chart and pivot table are connected to each other, which will help us creating in a beautiful dashboard. Now, all these things, whatever we learned, we combine them together and we bring as a dashboard. And that is what we have, the dashboard activity, which is the last thing where we create a dashboard. So this is all what we teach. Okay. So now coming down to the most asked question, like most asked question, like which I ask the most to the students or to the people who are enrolling to this course. So whatever I showed just now as a part of this curriculum, if you think that you know this, okay, you know these functions already, and you want to learn more in the sense you want to go to the next step, which is you want to do the macros or a VBA stuff, then I would recommend you to go for the VBA macro session. And if you don't know anything, or maybe you just know 30% of it or 40% of it, and you want to know completely about this, that is where I recommend you to enroll this session for. Okay. We also have VBA macros class where we learn macros. Macros are basically, automation stuff in Excel. So it requires knowledge of little coding, which I think which will be trained here, okay, in the VBA macros. And macros is basically automating the repetitive task. Now there are two sets of people. One set of people is an automation guy and one is a data analysis guy. Macros are not data analysis. Okay. Data analysis you do on multiple types of data. Macros is something you get a request. You know what? I want to automate this. You automate it and you give it back. You don't work on that file again and again. Whereas in Excel, you get reports, you get multiple reports, you get different types of data multiple times, and then you work. Okay. So Excel macros are different. Excel is different. Okay. Excel macros, we use Excel and create a macro so that repetitive tasks, repetitive activities are automated by clicking a button. That is the difference between macros and Excel. Okay. So you guys will be able to download this from the website. Okay. After we conclude this class, whenever you get time today, just go through the curriculum once, understand and assess yourself that if you know this already, or You don't know this, I want to know this. There are two types of people, right? If you know this already, I would recommend you can go for VBA macros or Power BI. Okay. So that is, if you want to go into data analysis field, then go for Power BI and SQL, which is a clubbed course in our institute. Or if you want to go with VBA macros, then you can go to VBA macros. But giving you a disclaimer, for entering into both of these courses, you need to at least have this knowledge, because Power BI is what? It's a Microsoft tool, right? Microsoft Power BI, MSBI. Okay. So it Power BI is used with the help of Excel only. Okay. So you need to know Excel to know Power BI. Okay. This knowledge is needed for VBA scripting. No, no, this complete is needed for VBA, because VBA is, for VBA we need this knowledge. Huh? Pivot table is not required for VBA, but in VBA we automate the pivot tables also. So you should know knowledge of how pivot table works. Okay. Basically, you should know the all the terminology of Excel, because that is used in VBAs. In VBAs, basically what will happen, the things which you are doing with your hands, with your mouse, right? You create a pivot table with the help of your hand, right? That is something we do it automated there. Automated in the sense, with the hand only you will write a code, create dot pivot dot table for this row to this row. You write that in the code. The same thing, whatever you do is you do it with the help of VBA. Let me see if I have an example. I created one recently. I'm not sure if it is there in this. No, just one thing. Let me just show you how the VBA script looks like. Okay, where did that screen go? Okay, can you see this? I'm not giving you, a lot of confusing gyan. Okay, I'll just show you how it works. Now you see here, you see active workbook dot pivot catches dot create. Now we are telling them to create a pivot table. The same thing you can do with the help of Excel. Okay, that is what I'm trying to tell you. This we are doing as an automation, because if it's a repetitive activity, why do you want to go daily, open, insert, pivot table, and all those things? Instead of that, let's create it one in the backend, create a button, and with the help of button, it will run. So this is what pivot tables look like. So see, all this thing you will have to do, give the formatting, all these things, pivot tables, name of the pivot table, do this, do that, all these things you will have to show. You will have to write as a part of automation. Now with this, you should know, right, what a pivot table is. If you don't know what is pivot table, then you will obviously not know how to write, how to go into VBA class basically. So this is what about this is all about the pivot table thing. Okay, just a normal example on why Excel knowledge is used in order to learn pivot tables. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you here. Okay. No, no, you have to write everything. Yeah, yeah. This is what we will teach you on how to write and stuff. Okay. Yeah, yeah. There will be a standardized working framework. Okay. So that's how the VBA works. Nowadays, Okay, because of AI, thanks to AI, we are getting this codes automatically written in AI. So when you write a code and when you ask ChatGPT, right, help me write a VBA code to create a pivot table or something, it will give you the code. But there are some organizations which are restricting access to AI because confidential information, right? You can do that in your personal laptop, but you can't do for an office laptop. Okay, so that is where the catch is. So that's why you need to write it on your own or privately browse in your mobile and copy paste the content. Okay, so that's about the coding and the VPA part. Okay, so for Power BI or VBA, you need to know knowledge of pivot. I mean knowledge of Excel. Without Excel knowledge, you will not know what is what. Okay, so that's why I told you that you know if you know that you have knowledge on whatever the course curriculum I gave on, I'm showing you right now. If you have knowledge on this, then I would happily ask you to go, recommend you to go to Power BI or SQL. Again, VBA macros is not data analysis. Okay, it's automation. Power BI SQL, the course which we have, that is a part of data analysis. Okay, so this is all the course curriculum. Now I'll tell you what after you enroll. I know there are out of you, this is the demo session. So most of you wanted to listen this class and then enroll it, or people must have already paid it and they are starting it right away. So I'll tell you what happens after you enroll. After you enroll to this class, you will get access to a SharePoint drive. Just a moment. Okay, you will get access to a SharePoint drive where you get this Excel course uh, zip. Okay, in this you have multiple folders. Okay, in this multiple folders you have some practice sheets. You have practice sheets, you have also the training sheets which I use to train you guys. Okay, so I will open the training sheet. So we have something called 01 Excelytics Excel training, which is this sheet which I open. This is our first sheets which are linked with all the links of what all we teach and what all we do. Okay, and we start with the training like this. We start with what is about the training, what is about Excel, how the user interface is, customization tabs, what are the shortcuts we have. Okay, data types, number formats, each and everything whatever is mentioned over there. Okay, clipboard format as table. We will go through each thing of this particular sheet and explain you filling. And then for formulas, since formulas is another big topic, so all these formulas are covered as a part of the all formulas sheet. You will get the formula sheet also within this. So you see there are multiple formulas, no, which I discussed: text formulas, date and time, logical, information, statistical, mathematical. Okay, all these formulas we will learn how we write formula, what is used in formulas, everything is mentioned here. Okay, we will teach you the same thing, and since you will also have access to this file, you can download in your local computer and you can also go through while whenever you get free time. So basically weekends we will have this batch. So Monday through Friday, whenever you have that free time, whenever you get some free time, you can go through this sheet. This sheet can be downloaded by you and remained as you as an offline version. Okay, so this is all about. And then as I told you, in the end we will do one dashboard. I'll show you how the dashboard looks like. So this is how, no, this is not a complete dashboard. Wait. So we will have this raw data. With the help of raw data, we will create a dashboard. Let me show you the dashboard, full dashboard. Okay, this is how we create a dashboard. So with the help of this particular data, we create dashboard like this. Now this dashboard is connected to charts, pivot tables, and these are slicers which are used in pivot tables. Okay, so with the moment you click anything, your data gets changed. You click anything, your data gets changed. This is what we learn in the dashboards. And you have all the things which gets changed. Okay. This is how dashboard looks like. Now these dashboards are nothing but a combination of all the things. These are charts, charts. Okay. These are slicers, which are a part of a pivot table. Okay. This is a text box. Okay. And this is all formatting. The formatting you do with row, column, the color coding, all these things. All these things together is a dashboard. This is also a chart. This is also a chart, one type of chart. Okay, understood? Now these are all are created. How they are created? They are created with the help of pivot tables. You see, all these are pivot tables in the backend which we created. This is how it looks like. Now you see, we have created a pivot table. Now this pivot table is created. I want to know in central 9158. I want to know who all bought in 9158. I just double click. I get all my details. 9158 breakup. So there is a lot of things which we can learn out of this pivot tables, and pivot tables, I'm telling you, it's a boon. It's a boon for Excel to have a pivot table. Pivot table will help you convert lakhs of lines of data into small and crisp summary without any problem. So pivot tables and formulas are very, 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 very important things in as a part of your Excel training. So uh, so with this, as I told you, you will get access to all these things that you have, like external data. These all whatever you see, right? These all are actually used in the dashboard. So that's why we have put some examples here. Practice session, you have some sheets like this. Not this sheet, wait. Test. You have some sheets like this. You can go through the test also. Okay. And yeah, so this is all about our curriculum and what we give you as a part of the curriculum. Apart from all these things, we will give you access to the video recordings of our Zoom sessions. This video recording of the Zoom sessions and this particular link will be shared with you. So wait, this Excel zip file link will be shared to you on your Gmail. Okay, the Gmail ID which you give to the admin team. Okay, that is one thing. Also, the YouTube video access will also be given only to your Gmail ID. So make sure the Gmail ID which you give, you have your YouTube logged in on that. Okay, and you cannot download or share that particular link to anyone, and the access for that video recording would be there for only 6 months. Okay, I feel that if you are attentive in this course, when I am here, then it is more than enough. Only if you be attentive and practice it regularly, then you will not require you to go through this Zoom links, okay, or YouTube links. But just in case if you miss out, because since you guys are also working, you will only have Saturday and Sunday to plan your weekends and stuff, right? So by chance, if you're not able to attend, then you have a YouTube recording as a backup. But recommendation is to take through, take through live when I am there available here. Okay. So this is all we have and we uh, provide as a part of our training. So
Now, sorry to
any,
interrupt you,
yeah,
Hemant. Uh,
yeah,
Hello? Yeah, so this
yeah,
access
I'm listening.
would be, yeah, so this access, would that be only till the 6 months, and post that we don't have access to the,
Sorry,
can you hear me? Hello?
you're breaking. Your voice was
Can
breaking.
you,
Can you
can
repeat?
you, yeah, yeah. So my question is on, so the folders that you are sharing, right? Will this access be given post 6 months also, or it's only for 6 months?
No, no, you can download this and keep it in your system. I mean, the access will be removed after 6 months,
Okay,
but you can download this like how it is downloaded in my file. That this is my laptop. It is downloaded here, right?
okay.
Nobody can take this out.
Mm-hmm.
But from Gmail, the link will be disabled after 6 months.
Okay, from Gmail, the link, but the offline, when it is downloaded, we can access them and
Yes, yes, yes. You can keep it forever with you.
okay. So that's one thing. And second thing, regarding the YouTube thing that you told, would we
Mhm.
have access to that only till 6 months for that?
Yeah, yes, yes. The video recording will be for 6 months only.
Okay. Post that we would not have access to it.
Yeah, yes, no access to view after 6 months.
Okay, I would like to give a new Gmail ID. I think I have to update it to the staff members, right? On that
Yes,
admin
yes.
people.
Whatever it is, just update the team. You can put a message in the WhatsApp to the institute. They
Okay.
are available on the WhatsApp from 7 a.m. until night 9 p.m. So you can
Okay.
send them a message and they will update your link. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Uh, so for Microsoft Specialist exam, I would recommend you to reach out to the admin team. I think they will have a special this thing because this comes with a fee of 8,000, which is $100. Maybe now the dollar rate is 89 rupees or 88 rupees, so 8,800 something. So that comes with a $100 fee. And Kishore will give you some more details on how to go ahead with the exam. Okay. If you want to go for the Microsoft specialist exam. Okay. Yeah, yeah. We have did a lot of certifications here for that Microsoft specialist. A lot of people did. So again, it's like I'll tell you that Microsoft specialist thing is like only if you want to do like I never did that Microsoft specialist exam. So it's up to you if you want to take it or not. Okay. That really depends upon what type of career you are in. Okay. There would be a special guidance for that. Okay, so which admin team will provide you. Most will be the whatever I thought will be the most. It says that you need to practice little more. The moment you enroll, no, so Microsoft will also send you some stuff to learn and stuff, recommended courses and stuff. Okay, that's pretty much for the Microsoft specialist thing. uh Guys online, do you have any questions about the course curriculum, about the institute, about the timings, about the recordings, about the access?
Yeah, so this recording thing, I mean, every class recording would also be having access, right?
Yes. So the moment our class is done, right, after just 1 hour or 2 hours, you will get a YouTube link in your WhatsApp, and then you can, view from that YouTube link.
Acha, okay.
No, no, the ones which I am teaching, that recording will only be sent to you. Okay. We will not give you the past recordings. Like currently, if you see my Zoom recording, this is being recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So you will also get access to this link also. Okay, this link will be available free, and then the origin from the day one, which is we start from tomorrow, that will be recorded and will be only sent to the participants who has paid fees and enrolled in the list. Basically, to be honest, I will not have access to this basically to the
Okay.
recording which I am sending because they don't. I mean, I don't really want them to update my Gmail ID every time for the recordings. Okay, but yeah, just keep this in mind that this would be for 6 months. But I would say if you be attentive and get it through, you will learn in 1 month only. And since you already have this Excel sheets with you, you open and then you see, you will only recollect on what we did in this sheet and stuff.
Mm. Okay, would we have any, certification given once we are done with the particular course from you guys?
So see, there are two certificates. One certificate is from the institute which you get normally. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that you have attended this course and completed it. The
Okay.
second certificate which I am talking about earlier was a Microsoft specialist exam
Uh-huh.
that will be given by Microsoft, provided
Okay.
you have to pay $100 for it, register a slot date for it, and then take the exam.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's the exam. That's from
Mhm.
the Microsoft. And basically, that's like a certified certificate. Certified
Mhm.
certificate means that it's basically, acceptable everywhere outside.
Okay. How
And
useful is that, Hemant? Like, how would that help us? Uh,
see, I'll tell you how. See, I'll tell you one thing. Okay. Generally, this is my point of view again. Okay.
mm,
This doesn't have any relation to the sales of anything. So, if you know Excel and if you're able to talk about it, that you know Excel and you are able to actually do that, then it's not required to show the certificate. It's like driving license. You know driving, but definitely,
mhm,
I mean, driving license is a rule in our country. I mean, in a country to drive actually, but
mhm.
but not everyone has a driving license. No, like that. Understood what I
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
to say?
Understood.
I
Yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
until and unless you are applying as a driver in Uber or Rapido, then you will have to show the
This
driving
matters.
license mandatory.
Yes, yes.
Similarly, until and
Uh-huh.
unless you are maybe, join, and please don't take me wrong, I'm just giving a hypothetical example. Until and
Okay.
unless you join, uh, so there are some companies, they say that I require certification. Like suppose you are going as an Excel trainer. How will
Mm-hmm.
you tell yourself as an Excel trainer? Okay,
Yeah.
you will
Mm-hmm.
tell with the help of the certificate, right? Now
Yeah, which
suppose,
is acceptable.
now I'll
Okay.
tell you, there are big CEOs and like, I mean, I'll not go to Narendra Modi now, sorry. There are big CEOs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they did not do MBA in their life, but they are CEOs. Like, you think about this guy called Zeroda guy, Nikhil Kamath or something, I forgot his name. Kamath, I know his surname. Day before
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, he passed out a sentence that, if you're 25 and you're still going to MBA college, then you're a fool or something, he said. That guy
Okay.
did not do MBA in his life. Okay. But he's
Mm-hmm.
still a billionaire, right? He doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
prove his worth to manage a
Mm-hmm.
company. MBA means you manage a business, Master of Business Administration. You manage a
Mm-hmm.
business. You
Mm-hmm.
need not have a proof to manage a business, right? So,
Exactly.
but certain companies like, IITs, sorry, companies like
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft and all, they say that I want an IIM graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Although a tier 3 guy is super intelligent, but they still say that I want an IIM guy. Similar is the certification. Basically, if you're going for any core Excel related thing where they definitely need a guy who is a certified guy, that is where
Mm-hmm.
this is used. Or if you're going like a trainer in any corporate firms, like
Mm-hmm.
trainers from this institute goes to corporate firms and give training. So the corporate teams will ask, are you certified guy? Then only we will take your training, like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's how the certification is. So that
Mm-hmm.
certification comes with $100. If you want, you can give that certification. It is always good to have a certification. But as I said you, that it's not always required to show your skills with the help of a piece of paper. If
Mm-hmm.
you know Excel and if you can do things, then it's fine. So
As a
until
freelancer, if at all, like you gave an example, if you have to go and give a training in the corporate, right? So
yeah,
in that cases, what would be like, how much would we get paid? Just a general question, on an
I
average.
am I am not sure. I never
If
went
if you have
through that
the
way.
certifications, in general, I'm asking,
No,
if
I
you have.
mean I don't have an idea on that. That's what I'm telling you. I've never been to such things.
Okay, okay, fine, thanks.
Yeah, see, we have online and offline both, right? You can get your laptops here and you can go through. We also have laptops provided by the institute here. You can use those laptops as well. Okay, provided we have multiple laptops. So laptop today which you are using might not be available tomorrow because some other student is using, but we do have that laptops to, practice here in the class. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people, as I told you, right? So not everyone is proficient in every technology. Yeah, practice is important. See, uh, yeah, if you just giving you a hypothetical example, when I started my Excel journey, I did not know anything about Excel. Okay, but with the practice, the report which I used to take whole day to work on, I practiced it so much that it took only just 5 minutes to do. 8 hours of time of work which I used to do on one thing, it took 5 minutes to do. Yeah. So that is how only with practice you will learn Excel. Okay. You take n number of trainings. Okay. But if you don't actually go into the system and practice, until and unless you do that, you will not get it. So that's the reason I created multiple practice sheets. That practice sheets are not a part of this curriculum actually, but I have created a practice sheets a lot because only with that practice you will get to know how to do it, or else that practice, if the practice goes away, it will be a problem. And you guys actually have a boon that you are actually working and simultaneously taking this training, so that yeah, you're not working with Excel, but at least you have privilege to access to data and laptop with you, so you can play around with Excel in your office with any kind of data. You must be having any some kind of data, right? So you have to try to get some data from here and there, and yeah. Yeah, you can use this samples. Now that we will send you the Excel link, right? Oh, no, some companies don't have that permission to download data from outside. Yeah, you can use the institute laptops we have. Hmm. Yeah, correct. Yes, you can do that. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's try to wrap this up because this has been recorded, right? The person who listens to the recording will uh not hear it. Okay, yeah. Yes. So I see that Tirupati has said that he's not having questions. Veena, do you have any more questions?
No, Hemant. No.
Okay. So as I told you, I mean, go back home today, go to the link which I told you about and see what are the curriculum which we have. Okay. And if you want to get more understanding on the certification course, you can reach out to the admin team about the Microsoft Specialist course. Okay. And we will see you back tomorrow, probably. Okay. All right, I will end this meeting now. So this is all about the demo session today. I know this is just for 1.5 hour because in demo we can't really go for 3 hours. And usually also I will take training for 2.5 hours, not completely 3 hours. Like because 10 minutes will be for joining and 10 minutes before leaving. Okay. And then we will have a 10 minutes break because you will also not sit for 2.5 hours straight. So I'll make sure that you get easy time and I'll also make sure that you understand each and every class here. Just as a prior experience, I've completed 6 to 7 batches here in Excel. So, and pretty much very good feedback from all my, Excel trainees. So, and as I also mentioned, you can reach out to the WhatsApp channel also if you get into some doubt. You can just free feel to ping there. Don't hesitate. See, if we hesitate, we are losing a chance. We are losing an opportunity. Whatever it is, just tell me on my face. Hemant, I'm not understanding this. Can you please explain? I'll try to go multilingual. As I said, I know Hindi, Telugu, English, all three languages. So I can go multilingual and I can tell you that also. Okay. So don't worry about it. Just be frank enough and let me know what it is, and we can proceed in that same way. Okay. All right.
Sure, Hemant. So one last thing. So the
Yeah.
doubts clarification can be done only till 6 months, is it? Or we can reach out anytime?
Which verification?
No, doubts
Clarification.
clarification. हाँ कुछ
Uh,
doubts है तो.
so it's like you can so as per the institute's policy, you can reach out to us until 6 months, but you will have my WhatsApp number, right? You can just ping me and ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's again everything. All of this is free of cost.
Okay, sir.
No money, nothing is required. You can just ping me. I'm
Sure.
happy to help you. Okay.
Sure, thank you. Yeah.
Yep.